Hi and welcome to Battle Systems. This is the tutorial video, in fact the final tutorial video for the Battle Bunker set, and it's actually for this, the inverted corner pod. There we go. As always, I have laid out all the pieces, and we've got the printed images here, and again this is already scored up, including all the fiddly bits around here, and I've got the base here which has already been beveled, and I've also got internal side supports and all the little tabs and bits and pieces that you need for this particular sheet, including all the trims. Okay, cool, so I'm going to move this to one side. Okay, so first of all what we're going to do, we're actually going to put the base together first. So a bit like the other pods, I'm going to pop the side supports on first, then the internals with the little internal supports as well. So let's just pop that out of the way. Put the side supports on first. Grab my glue. Okay, so edge gluing across here for the side supports first. Okay, so that's the two side supports on first of all. Now it's important to remember, especially if you've been doing a few corner pods in a row, then the inverted corner, to make sure the actual slope is actually you know, going in this direction, because ordinarily you'll be used to kind of putting it around this way, so you really need to make sure that the you're going in the right direction for this. Okay, cool, so the next bit I'm going to pop on, and as with the other pods it's marked up, is these two internal supports here, so I'm going to pop those on now, and you can use plenty of glue here. Okay, lovely, there it is, there's the internals, and then you've got these little internal supports here. Now with these here, on this pod, you've got quite a long area of the ridge, which is here, and we want these little supports to sit under here, so that when you push this down, this is actually supported. Ordinarily on a basic pod, you wouldn't need, you'd have a support here and a support here, you wouldn't really need anything in here, but because this is such a large area, we're going to do that, and so we're going to use these little supports. I'm just going to sort of space these, you know, kind of roughly like this, here like so, so it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, there we go. That is the internal supports on there, not measured out, just evenly spaced. Okay, cool. So obviously I'm going to want to pop that to one side to dry. And as I do that, I'm just going to make sure that the side supports are roughly level, and we'll actually level it as we go. But best to get it roughly right. I'll pop that off to one side to dry. Sort of structure done. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is take this image here, and like I say, it's already scored up, so I just want to fold it through. Okay, so that's that folded through, and what we want to do, we want to get it to kind of this shape here, so it's just going to end up kind of sitting like, oops, like this. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to tab the back and hold this into this shape here. Okay, so moving that to one side, we've got all our little tabs here, and I want to glue these in and then give them a little bit of time to dry. Can't pick these fins up. Okay, so yeah, you've got actually this is for the front, that's for a moment. You've got internal middle upper support, which is internal wall, sorry, middle upper, which is this part here, the flat part. You've got this kind of big sort of shield sort of shape, that's for this large bit here, and then you've got like a bottom piece and a top piece for here, top piece, and across here the bottom piece. So I'm just going to fold these out. It can be kind of quite tricky to get this to kind of be in at the right angle, so I'm going to start with this little fella at the top for the oops, other way around, for the top piece, and I'm just going to work tab by tab all the way down. otherwise by the time I do this, it'd be quite, if I do this first and work that way, it'd be quite difficult to get your fingers in there. So yeah, brilliant. Okay. Now if you're making quite a few of these, you might, I mean, when I do it, I tend to do like 4 at a time. So what I would do is I would probably do that first one, grab the next one, do the next one, the next one. So by the time I come back to this one, this is drier. So as you're moving this, it's less likely to come apart. For the sake of the video though, I'm just going to carry straight on to the next tab. With this final tab as well, you really do want to make sure that you don't put the tab too low down inside. If it's too low down here, it tends to interrupt with the base, the thickness of the base which goes in here. So we just keep it up a bit higher. Okay, had a bit of a problem and I lost VT then completely. So what I have done, which you haven't seen, is that there's a small part here that you get with the base. I've finished sticking that tab in. There's a small part here that you get with this base, which when you cut the base out is normally just sitting here. So we take that, and that actually just glues in under here. So it actually glues in just underneath this part here, and it adds to a kind of a support for it. Okay, and I don't know how clear that is on the camera, but you can probably see that I've already just glued that part in there, and I just held that in for a little bit of time to get it nice and the glue nicely set. And then on this side, I've actually just stuck a tab on. There's actually a tab here which is called front grey stone to front grey stone tab, and if I open it up a little bit like that, you'll see the shape of the tab. It's basically it's like a long arrow kind of tab, and all I've done is I've tacked it on the inside, bent it so it's kind of arrow pointing up, and I've tacked it on the inside on one side only so far. And what we're going to do in a mo is we're going to tag that on the other side, and you can see the basic shape starting to come together there. Okay, so yeah, that's as far as I've got for that. Okay, so bringing in the base, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to very carefully lay what I've done so far over the top of the base with no glue whatsoever, and just make sure that everything fits. Everything seems to kind of fit, and it should kind of sit down on it a little bit like this. What I haven't done actually yet, as you probably see me do in some of the other videos, are the little blockers that go in here. As you can see on these pods and many of the pods, I don't bother to put them in because it's, even when you've got them in, it looks like there's something there, so, or there's nothing there. So yeah, you can just leave them out. I have done on the website many of the videos, in fact all of the videos and the pictures on the website. However, you have got these little blockers here, these little things, and as you've probably seen me on the first video and possibly the second video as well, you can just if you want to, pop these little guys in here as well if you want those little areas on there blocked off. It's entirely up to you. I've showed you how to do it a couple of times on the vids. So yeah, save time, I'm going to do that. Okay, so like I say, I just want to carefully lay this over the top and make sure the whole thing fits basically. So very carefully. Yeah, that seems to fit absolutely spiffingly. So last but not least, while it's sitting on there, just fold this last little bit here, tuck these tabs under, and I'm just going to check that this part here comfortably fits in. Great, so there we go. What I need to do now is actually just glue that all in place. So yeah, that can be kind of tricky, and what we're going to do is we are going to have to try and glue this, or this side of it at least, glue it all down in one go. Okay, so by this point, if you've done the other pods or a few of the other pods, you should be kind of getting used to the gluing and how it all works, etc. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. Yeah, we're gonna have a go at that. Now with this, I would say the best thing to do is to do the glue on here and here, and here, all the internal supports first, and just put plenty of glue on. Really splodge it. This is a time to take your anger out on the glue tube, as it were. So yeah, do that first, because putting that on first means it's going to be, by the time you edge glued all this, which is the bit you'll be taking time on, around here and across the top, that will be perfect to put on, and this will just be starting to dry, and because there's a lot of glue, it'll squash into the fresh glue underneath its own little skin, and it'll all come together nicely. Anyway, yeah, cool, do that, and then once that's in place, and whilst that's in place, we're really going to want to sort of fidget with it and just make sure everything, pulling these side supports up. We're going to be leveling it as well, just to make sure everything's okay. Any last minute sort of like movements or tweaks, just to get it exactly where it is that we want it. So great, I'm going to do that. So here we go. And yeah, we're going to put glue on everything here except for these front areas here. So even across the tops here is going to be fine. Okay, so yeah, lots of splodges on here, and you've got all this webbing and stuff in here. That's all fine. And then I've edge glued around the edge of here, here, and up over these side supports. And I guess I need to start working fast. Okay, so very carefully, kind of working over and bringing it back on. Just going to lay this over now, and as we did in the practice run, the test, we're just going to get it all into place. So. Okay, and again, before doing anything else, I'd probably want to leave that to dry just for a little bit of time, so that as we're moving all these bits and pieces around, we don't want to mess it up, as it were, any further. But again, for speed and time, I'm just gonna go ahead and do some bits on here as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edge glue down here and across here, so that this piece here kind of stops in place, which is fantastic. So yeah, now I just really want to leave that to dry, and the last thing that we're going to do is kind of pop this little shell on. But I'm going to leave that to dry first for a minute. Okay, so yeah, that's had its time to dry. What we're going to do then is pop this bit on here. Now the way we're going to do this is we're actually going to join up this tab here and here and here, so 3 tabs there on first. And again, wait for those to dry, and then once they're dry, we're just going to basically stick the final piece down. Okay, so it's a good idea just to bend this tab out the way for a moment, and you really do want the pressure of this tab facing outwards when it's time for you to glue your last bit down. So we'll do just bend it out there a little bit. Also allows you to get this in here nicely. And what we're going to do, we're going to glue onto this tab here and this tab here, and place them underneath, and then we're just going to stick our fingers underneath and hold them in place. But we're also going to place a little bit of glue, not on this tab here, but underneath the bit it's going to tab to. And the reason is because as we put this on, if it squashes across the tab, it actually just helps to spread it across the tab. If we put it on the tab here and then put this on, this bit here does tend to kind of squash the glue up onto the grill itself. You can end up with some splodges. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, if there's a way to do it properly, you might as well do that. So I'm gonna pop some glue on here. I'm just gonna bend these tabs up as well, being careful not to get any of the glue on the top of the image. I'm going to pop that under there and get it into position. And you might be able to see that as I'm doing that, this tab is kind of squashing onto there. Yep, that's lovely. Okay, yep. So again, I'm just going to leave that off to dry for a moment until that's fully dry. And I really do want that fully dry before I start really lifting this up to get to try and sort of lift this up level to just do the final gluing, because I don't want those tabs coming away. So I'm looking underneath, they're secured up there quite nicely, and I really don't want to disturb that. So yeah, I'm going to leave that. And again, you'd be working on something else, move it out of the way. I guess what you could do is you could kind of stick this on the top here, which actually, why don't we do that now? Let's stick this across the top. You've got a couple of final details that are going to go on. You've got this top part here and these bits here. So let's just pop that top bit on while we're waiting. So yeah, there you go. I'm going to leave that to dry for a bit. I guess you guys would be working on something else. I've actually been up since 3 AM and in London at 7 o'clock. I got back at 8 o'clock. It's now about 11:30. So you know what? I'm going to make a coffee. Gasping for a coffee. Okay, so that's had a good old bit of drying time. I've had a lovely coffee, which is fantastic. Yeah, what I want to do now is I actually want to just stick this down, and then we can pop these last two little bits on as well. Okay, so yeah, that's nicely dry. I can risk-free lift this up without worrying about this bit or anything under here coming apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down both onto the tab underneath here and splodgy the glue on the nice internal support there, and edge glue up to the side here. And just before I do that, I'm just going to give this little tab under here a little pull forward again, just so that it's got a bit of resistance when I glue that down. Okay, so out we go. Okay, cool. So there you go. That's the front bit popped down. We've already stuck this bit on the top. So really, all we've got left to do is pop these little bits onto here, and we are finished. So let's do that. Again, always check to make sure that they fit nicely. Okay, cool. Okay, and there it is. That is the inverted corner pod, all done and dusted. Thanks very much for watching the tutorial video. There are no more tutorial videos for the bunker set. That is all done and dusted. So thanks very much for watching, and happy gaming.